Hello, Royals. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. We are officially out of graduation season, and Lord Jesus have mercy. I am excited. I just want to tell you that. I'm really proud of them, but I'm excited. So, Hilda graduated this weekend. I'll share a short clip from that after we have our co host introduce herself.
I'm about to say sorry.
Yes, sorry we're late.
Right.
I thought it.
Happy Taco Tuesday to everybody. It don't
It
feel like
Tuesday.
No, it doesn't. I don't know what day of the week it feels like.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Tuesday. And I definitely didn't wake up feeling like I felt like being a black woman today either. Yeah, I didn't. Happy almost Juneteenth, but I don't feel like working. I don't feel like paying bills. I don't like my neighbors. They're extremely rude. And yeah, my life. I don't like it. So,
Understand.
so happy Tuesday, everybody. If you need a drink, have 7. If you need to roll something up, my only rule of thumb is you can't get no higher after you high, just so y'all know that. You wasting product. But it's your shit. Waste it if you want to. So, here is a short clip from Hilda's graduation. So, congratulations to her. And I pray to God Almighty that nobody else graduates in Arizona or Nevada. Okay?
it's
hot.
It is hot as hell. I have not. So, I didn't even realize that I stayed in Arizona when I was 22. I think I was 22. That was my first apartment and my first time living away from home. I moved out of state. I don't know why. Well, no, I know why I moved to Arizona, supporting somebody. That didn't work out well. But I moved back home the day my lease, I think it was a couple days before the lease was over. I had my shit packed and I was coming back home because it is so hot. It is never not hot. I don't care. I had a 5 o'clock in the morning shift trying to think, oh, I'll get to work before it's hot and then get off when the sun goes down. That don't matter. It don't matter. It's hot.
I hear it, but I don't know.
Hold on.
I
I don't know if everybody or not though.
I can't hear, but if you're in the comments and you happen to be able to hear feedback, please let us know.
Yeah,
that is.
But when
I
I
went
April,
it was that hot, but right now, and that's that dry. Like,
It's a dry, horrible
I
heat.
don't
That
know
heat where you be like,
first or
down
down south.
I think
Arizona.
You think Ireland?
Because the heat, it makes you not be able to breathe. It makes you,
That's how I
it's so
feel
dry. It's very,
That's
very
how I feel
dry.
in.
I don't know. I don't like that heat
I
though.
don't know. I didn't like that heat though at all.
But I don't like humidity hot either. So we went to Nassau before
Yeah.
in May. I think we went in May. And that hot, I got so burned. Like my whole entire forehead, this whole piece right here was completely black. My cheeks was black. My shoulders was black. I couldn't even carry my bags by the second day because I was burned all over. And it happened so fast. And I don't know.
That's how
That's how I
down
down
south.
south.
I feel like
the oxygen.
like
they
I
I don't know.
But you
But you have this skin
after
that.
You do.
You do.
You just on the dehydration machine, but and need an IV, but nobody gonna see it.
Your skin glowing after the south when it's hot like that. I be wondering how those were all that makeup how they do like that.
I don't get it at all. I don't know how they wear wigs. I don't know how they wear weaves. I don't know how they do anything but braids. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't, because it just isn't for me. Like my weave was up the entire time. It was up the entire time. Even when I was in the pool, it was just too much. But so let this serve as a prerequisite for where you go to school. Okay, family and friends and divine purpose. I will not in my life attend Arizona again. This was my first time back. since I was 23. And immediately when I crossed that state line, I said, I remember why. I didn't leave the house.
When you went to Miami, you just had the heat. Because the heat is just like everywhere.
Oh, I had just beat it. That's the only reason. And my uncle hasn't. So my family is different. And I very much so case out where I'm going before I go. My uncle has an enclosed pool. So they're aware that it's hot. They have a whole enclosure over their whole backyard. Well, not whole backyard, but the whole part that includes the pool, the deck, and then even some more space. It's enclosed. It has fans out there, that kind of stuff. And their backyard is surrounded by trees, so it blocks that direct heat. So it's a little bit different. Yeah, with the direct heat, it's just, you just don't catch a break. You just don't. So it's too much, but y'all enjoy it.
Right.
No, thank you. Here we go. I'm telling you, that's too much.
Ooh, I can tell that she's a veteran. Ain't nothing better when it's heaven sent. That's a grown ass woman. Don't play with her. When it's going down, don't play around, better lay in. Grown ass woman. She's too fine. Her body hypnotic. Ooh, she's a red fine. Yeah.
And don't say nothing about my goddaughter with her hips on her imagination. I let her take one picture like that because that drives me nuts too. She kicked that leg up and put her hands on her hips. So I said, fine, you can kick her leg up. Then she kicked her leg up literally.
Girl, that's how you get down. Long as she working and all that.
I'll send you that video separately.
Oh, Lord.
Because we asked her to do the dance of, on Bob Burger, the girl that be dancing and it's always in the meme. Yeah, so not twerking because that girl only moves her top.
Yeah,
so I'll send it to you. Yeah, and that was only for us. Some things, see, this is the problem that I have. People think the shit is cute outside of what it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. When you have your kids do things like that, you let them know this is only for family. We're only having fun right now. You don't do this outside of here. And you correlate it for them. I think that that's really important. You can let them be kids and do all of that stuff. But it's the fact that y'all showcase the shit like it's supposed to be showcased and it's not. And then you wonder why people look at your kids crazy, or when they go to school and do this shit, then you wondering why they do it. Like that one little girl who did her little speech and she said when she grew up she wanted to be pregnant. I was so embarrassed. I was like, did she say pregnant? Not a wife, not... She wants to be pregnant.
I really don't think she said that. I'm trying to get her out. Like, did she really mean to say
so you didn't hear the whole thing? She very much so meant pregnant. I mean, I guess it depends on the child too. The way that they talk, if they talk using grown words, that's why you just stay away from it.
Yeah.
Or keep it to yourself because you understand your child. You know what I mean? You put your child out there to be judged by somebody that doesn't understand or where it comes from or little different quirks that you and your child have. That's why it's better to just leave it between you and
what
your
did she
family.
say before?
What did she say before that?
Oh, she gave a whole thing. I want to be pregnant so I can X, Y, and Z. And it just was grown. It was grown answers. And whether she knew what she was saying or not, she said it.
See, you know how that's how the committee that to that part. I only heard when to be pregnant. I was like, just say another word.
Yeah.
That's why
I'm glad I'm a little boy.
All little boys say some shit too. You just wait. They say some shit too. Bless their little hearts. They do because they don't understand. I will tell you this story after this. I'll tell you one after this is over. You don't embarrass your family, y'all, to go viral. Because I will definitely go viral with this story. Said no for me. So, in recent news, P. Diddy has been expelled from Howard University in honor of graduation season. I'll let you guys hear it, and then I'll give you my perspective. And so with Rose. Here we go.
All right, it's been announced that Howard University will be revoking Diddy's honorary degree, returning his $1 million contribution, and terminating his $1 million pledge agreement from the Sean Combs Foundation. Armand, did you see this decision coming?
Oh, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't. Of course, rightfully so. I mean, I feel like with this Diddy stuff, you know, the bridge is crumbling all the way down, and we're just going to see him lose it all. Diddy is really done. I mean, Diddy done. Diddy done. It's over. There's really nothing really to talk about. And at this point, is he going to go to jail or not? Because he's losing it all, and I'm not surprised if he continues to lose more, and I'm sure he will.
Okay, Al, what are your thoughts?
I'm really excited, and I am very pleased that Howard University has taken this stance, and they're sending a message very loud and clear that that type of behavior is unacceptable. And even though HBCUs do need money for their endowment, they don't need it that bad. I think the fact that they put their ethics and their standards and values before the money just lets everybody in this space know that that behavior and his abuse of women and violence like that will not be tolerated. I stand with Howard on this one.
This is a big deal for Howard to take this step. It really is, and I salute them as well, because I think they really wanted to show that they are disassociating themselves with him, and this is a major step. You can't, act like you ain't with the shenanigans and then keep the money and continue to benefit from it. So it says a lot, especially in the face of, again, these schools do need funding. So that's a big deal. Salute to you, Howard University.
But,
all right,
can I ask you guys a real quick question?
Please.
Did they really have a choice? Like, could you imagine them keeping them? Like, and some of this stuff, these companies that have aligned with Diddy, these schools, they have no choice. They have no choice but to give it up. They have no choice.
Basically, everything that Diddy has had his tentacles on is mud. Like, if you have to cut ties, or you're somehow looking like you're co-signing.
So, here's my feedback. Is that not the same thing that we say that people should follow? If you have a moral code as a business, how much more of a responsibility is it to have a moral compass for yourself? I think that was an amazing example, because here's the thing. Everybody else that's separated has not given money back. I think that it was perfect timing. You feel me? I think it was perfect timing because Juneteenth is coming. Graduations have just happened. And Howard University, amongst all the HBCUs, we need money badly. We do things for money all the time to raise the money. We don't have funding like everybody else. And to give that back, and not only that, but a pledge to continue to give money, they could have kept that because that's from the foundation. That's not from Diddy. You could have done that. But as an example, and number one that we need for our girls and for our boys. Boys, number one, you will go down if you do shit like this. Girls, you will go down too if you do shit like this. But girls, above all, because you're the most victims, have some respect for yourself. All money is not good money. So this is why I've been standing on since the beginning. Everybody has a part in it. Unless you were snatched up, made to stay, and a victim, you had a decision to make at each point. You also had a decision to make sure, this is me and my opinion, that he went to jail over getting all that money, Cassie. You had a responsibility to your moral compass. Y'all could keep saying nobody would have did it, but there are people that do it. Because again, what if you didn't live to make it to that dollar? What about all the people that didn't make it to that amount of money? Your life is worth that? To see if it will work out? It's not. To have fame? It's not. Most people will not have fame. It is 1% of people. You want to play Russian roulette with your life? I think above all, I love Howard because I'm a Delta, number one. I did want to go there. And then number three, they just won me over because that's the kind of example society should be setting. It's really important. Think about if it's your daughter. Would you want your daughter to do some shit like this? Like, for real, would you want your son to not have somebody around him to stop him if he was going down that type of road? Because you could lose your person, your sister, whatever. I don't know. To me, it was a very big deal. I think it should be announced everywhere that it can. It is feedback from you, Ro. Mommy said.
What do I do?
I don't know. You have your earpiece in?
I
took it out.
You took it out? Check your settings. See where your volume is coming from.
Okay.
Brief hold, people. While we're on brief hold, I'll play the next. No, I don't want to play the next clip. I want Ray to be able to give her feedback.
Hold on.
So give us just a minute, you guys.
It's on iPad microphone.
It's on iPad microphone.
Mm-hmm.
StreamYard has really been messing up lately.
Hold on.
That's why I'm on my computer with not so great lighting, because from my phone it's messing up.
Hello? I don't know. Let's log out and
Okay. Welcome to our homes. Give us just a minute. So, in the meantime, let me tell you, this is how I feel this week. This is one of my favorites. Did I save it? I did. This is how I feel this week. So in lieu of our terrible economy, I feel like I need to jump in front of a car and get a big settlement. That won't technically hurt me. I mean, I already have a back issue, so I could just do what she did and then say that my spleen is falling out. Is a spleen in your back? I don't know if it's in your back, but that's what I'm going to say anyways. We will see. I'll follow up with you guys. Okay. Do you still hear it?
Do I still?
Yeah, I don't.
You do? Okay. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
That's what we do. There's
Yeah.
nothing we can do. So
But
you guys,
I feel like it's
go ahead.
thing that I hate that feedback. I think it was the thing that they did that, and the fact that they gave the money back, because like it shows that they have moral everything. But I feel like I can give back a lot of stuff, and how they take that honorary doctorate. I think that they can take back a lot. Just think how they give to those schools, and how many people they have that are coming. Just think now they free to the same thing.
Yep. They're actually going to, you know what else? But just think, if this actually does go through, hell, it might be worse than them doing jail time. If everything is truly stripped away from them the way it should be, instead of paying my debt to society and getting to keep the stuff. My bracelet. Dr. Dre has gotten an honorary degree, I believe. And all of those honors, I believe that their awards should be stripped from them. Take back all the awards that they won. They should be repossessed. I don't know what you say for that, but
just take it back.
Revolt.
They shouldn't get to hold records or high honors or anything like that. And then from this happening, what do you think about other schools or other businesses that can afford to? So let's just be clear. Let's just say it was a business like my business, a grassroots business that was given $10,000 or $20,000. I probably would have spent that already. I wouldn't have it to give back if you're a smaller business. But a business the size of like Girl Scouts, Boys and Girls Club, those are big nonprofits. Nonprofits make a lot of money. I think that those could give it back. Schools, if they are capable of giving the money back, because we have to be responsible as well. This is for our kids. And some don't have the money to give it back. But if they truly do, they should give it back. And above all, the one thing that they can do is stop any further receiving contributions from these people, letting them speak at events, take back their honorary degrees.
But you never know when it's going to happen. Just see all this stuff about the clock.
That's what I'm saying.
People out there that got honorary degrees, and they out there doing the same thing as him.
Yep. So I didn't even think about that one, but I do. This is like a big thing to happen, and it socially charges other organizations to do the same. Because when you operate as a nonprofit, if you truly operate from your core and you sit on those directors boards and things like that, everything that you do is your moral compass. It really is. it's very hard.
Mhm.
Like I've shared on my Queen TT channel, which I need to start back again. But in case y'all can't tell, I don't wear makeup no more. Y'all could take this shit. But I love it. I do think it's beautiful. I just don't have
You
the
know how to do it good.
I don't have it be the time, bro. You know. I literally just rushed from my Delta meeting to over here. I had time to jump in the shower because I gotta go into work tomorrow. Y'all, life is life and for a bunch of us. But on there, I talk about how starting my nonprofit because I went in with such high expectations, really wanting to do stuff, and I didn't know COVID was going to hit. And I had girls in queue waiting to receive certain things. I exhausted one of my 401ks from a job that I had a while ago. I'm in that debt because I got to pay myself back. It's $14,000. That shit is no joke because you have to pay for every single thing. And then it's just interesting. So when you see somebody giving back, you don't kiss nobody's ass. And everything that we do is from our heart. But just give us a little more respect. And if you can, participate. And if you can, support, because we're doing it for our own community out of our own heart. There is no check. As many times as people said that to me, I don't get no check. And of the money I got full receipts that I didn't keep a single dime. And in fact, it's my money. So, there were no donations. There were no fundraisers. All of those years that I had to do it. Well, for me, I had to do it. It was from my heart. But yeah, some people will not be able to give it back. So don't be going for companies like, be realistic. Then the second part. So I want you to hear the feedback of what Kim Porter's dad said, and then the feedback, and then I'm going to ask you a question. So let's see.
In other Diddy news, the father of the late Kim Porter, Jake Porter, recently shared his thoughts on the footage of Diddy assaulting Cassie in a hotel hallway. Jake told Rolling Stone, "You can say I was disgusted with the video, and I wouldn't treat my enemy like that." Jake also stated that he never witnessed Diddy assault Kim to that extent, but wondered what in fact took place behind closed doors. Wow. Al, what are your thoughts?
So I have mixed reviews or thoughts on this. I think I definitely acknowledge and appreciate how he acknowledged the severity of what he did to that young lady. I love the way he denounced that and said that that was beyond and beneath anything that he's ever seen. However, I just don't understand how Diddy and Kim have been together, for almost 30 years. And even outside people have heard the rumblings around how he used to treat Kim. So I'm just trying to figure out, how did he not hear that?
Okay, Armand, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like the father knows a little bit more than he's leading on, because he still also said in the interview, or when he was speaking out, that, Kim loved Diddy, but he wasn't sure if Diddy really loved her or if Diddy was capable of loving anybody, And so it seems like, and he also said that, she still loved him, and why she loved him, she couldn't live with them. And he talked about how Diddy was mean and evil to a bunch of people. So it's like, a little bit more than you're leading on, but I feel like he might feel like Diddy has something to do with his daughter's death.
I kind of feel like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Because if he says he knew that all this time his daughter was being abused and you didn't say nothing till now, he's going to look crazy. And if he says he didn't know all the way, like he's like, what? Were you not in your daughter's life? But I will say this, I also got to think about this stuff that we've all done, right? Like, do you guys tell your moms if you do drugs? Do you guys tell your mother and your parents or family members that if you've had sex acts that you would not want them to know?
So I have a question. You ready? Cassie's mother did know for a very long time. Where the fuck is her accountability? Do you see why I say the stuff I say, Ro? We literally sit back being good people, watching all this bad shit happen, watching people pay attention to something for one person, but not the other. And they literally completely contradict themselves in their gung-ho. Well, that doesn't make sense and that doesn't matter. And then you come on and say something completely different when it's about Kim. Kim had whole kids by that man. Like, I don't understand. Where's the compassion for her or her dad? He didn't live in the house with them. He didn't have no damn pictures, but her mama had pictures. And she never, how is that, Pharaoh?
I just don't understand how the dad. Well, yeah, I'll take that. Say that. They hide it because, like they said, a lot of people go through stuff and they don't know anything. And he probably did allegedly beat her up like he did Cassie. Like probably hit her in her face.
Or if he did, we don't see our parents. Well, we see our parents a lot more. But some people, if you stay in this state and the parents stay in another state, right? You don't see each other all the time.
And they probably did that part. You probably couldn't, probably didn't. But like they say, was around that new. People said that about her for a long time.
So Al did mention that. He said, I find it hard. It was just more accountability that I cut out because it was too long and it pisses me off. There were talks around of it happening. So, how were you not ever questioned? But that's why Claudia kind of said the true reality is how much of our lives of things that happen like that, just things that we do on our own that are of our own free will, do we tell our parents? So even if he asked Kim, would she say yes? She wouldn't say yes. She would say no because she loved him.
But like you said, Cassie, her mom. That's why I want the only reason why I give her mom a pass is because her mom ain't black. But it's because, like we said before, a black parent, we ain't gonna be able to give Obama this and be like, this is a secret because. Soon as you tell that she everybody in the family about pride. Now other races are not like that, so that's why I wonder if Cassie's mom is that's Filipino or whatever she is, and her dad is black. And then I wonder if her daddy is her life. Because do the mama and daddy not talk to I'm gonna really keep that from her daddy too? But that's why I said I don't think that her mom is black. Honestly, Cassie's mom is black.
So let me ask you this question. Of all the races, when a black man dates a other woman and that black man even blinks, don't the family typically call the police on him left and right if he doesn't have money? Won't they put you in jail faster than anybody?
He was paying them.
Oh, so they were bought.
Just like with all these things, that's all subject. But
it's on topic very well. That's the whole point that I'm making. Stop saying you didn't fucking do it for money. Just tell the truth.
Just think with those families, all that year doing that stuff. None of the parents didn't say nothing because they was getting paid. But as soon as money dried up, now y'all big surviving our.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the person is right for doing what they're doing, but I'm saying not hers by any means. Like Cassie has a lot of things mixed into it, right? But what I'm saying is at the beginning stages of that, or think about the people that their fetish is the one where you hit each other and stuff. Think about the ones where the fetish is orgies, because an F-off is only an orgy. What's the difference between that and an orgy? You get what I'm saying? Now you could flip the words to your advantage now that you want to, but while you was doing it, let's keep it a buck. It was not, I just don't believe that. I don't. Because what he's at the peak of where he is now. He has more people under him, more time doing it and all of that. Wouldn't you be more scared as the demon grew than at the beginning? And your husband is a damn personal trainer who worked under him.
I think Cassie wasn't scared now. I don't know.
She wasn't scared then. She had fear of those things, two separate things. Hear what I'm saying? She had fear of, anybody would have fear that no one hands is going to be put on you. But she also had another thing on her shoulder saying, but I want this. I want this lifestyle. I want to be famous. I want my records. I want these things. She was fighting against two things. My only problem is she's only talking about one. And if you're truly doing this, at what point did you do it to help somebody else? What have you done that helped somebody else? And all that saying she opened the floodgates and blah, blah, blah. What justice has been served?
I always say,
I
well,
always say, well,
because
they
come
come
from
from
the
the
woodwork.
woodwork.
Now
Now all the every single artist has stopped getting ready.
But which one filed criminal charges? Which one?
But
Again, remember how
the state
the
thing
state thing is the
statute of
statute of limitations.
Right, but if they're recent ones, he hasn't stopped. So they're recent ones. Even that Gina girl, she's still messing with him. So I'm saying there is somebody that could.
But
And
remember, within 6
years.
aren't they still messing around? Wasn't her and Young Miami just fighting?
I think
they was. I think he was still really messing with that. I think he
I
was.
remember when that Tasha K one was, because the Tasha K
Yeah, that was some years. Let me look.
What was her
What
name?
was her
years
name?
ago, right? Gina. Just put Gina P. Diddy Tasha K. Yeah, just put that. I don't understand. So while we're waiting for that, let me tell you, girls, let me tell you something. We cannot fight a man. We cannot outbeat a man. That's just reality. Unless you pick up something, unless you have a weapon, unless you have all of those things, and depending on what state you in and how much they sleep, 19. Okay, so it was.
And when she this thing, but when Gina did that, she said that year ago. Remember when she said that he stumped her on her stomach at a miscarriage?
It was years before that.
Yep. Remember she was saying that.
Yeah. Okay. But we can't outbeat a man. It is
no.
I don't know how much to say it. It's nothing worth your life. It's just not. I don't care if you eat cup of noodles for the rest of your life. That's virtually impossible because most of the girls are smart. They're beautiful. They're all of these things. What God has for you is for you. Maybe your calling is to be something else. None of us want to wake up and go work for somebody else, right? But being an entrepreneur is much harder. Living that type of life, choose your struggle. That's not fun. Cassie hardly ever looked happy. She didn't ever look happy. And she's on red carpets wearing nice jewelry. She didn't put nothing away for herself. She didn't venture off to do anything else either, which I'm assuming based on another show I just saw and how they listed each person and what and the fact that he just released their rights and all that other stuff. It must have been something written in that contract where they couldn't do anything else because
but just think he had a record deal.
Right, but what I mean is some of them, you know how like like when Escape stopped, Candy and Tiny started writing or they started acting. It must be something in their contract wrote if they can't do nothing.
He blackballs them.
Because they don't do nothing else. They
ought
to be able to sue him.
I was watching. I have watched probably like four people from making the rap one. And these is brief interviews like
with the guy with the hat on.
Huh?
Yeah. I said with the guy with the hat on.
Yeah,
with the hair sticking out the front.
Yeah, Enes
did one. Oh no, you talking about
Enes did one. Oh no, you talking about Freddie. Freddie was the one. So Freddie, Ned, Babs did it.
Just 3 of them did it.
Also, just 3 of them did it. So that's 3 people.
Basically,
no more did it. They did it on the guy's show with. I'm gonna pin him down at the bottom. He's been doing it back to back. He even did Dominique.
Yeah,
you know I'm talking about the guy that wears the hat and his hair is blonde right here that does the podcast.
The one
that wear the glasses.
Yeah,
the last one I seen was the one with him and Babs.
Okay,
all of them said the same thing. But especially the guys, they were basically after they got out of it, like they couldn't really do nothing. But Babs and Ness, he did sign them to other like after he wrote off the bench. He signed into another contract. But then after on his high, that's when he went on to the next making Danity came. And he was basically like put them on the show. But they already had that contract. So she was having to do independent or do that's when it started her little rapping thing.
I think that that he should have to pay them. I think that they should do a class action actually before his tail go broke. You guys, she has to step away. My nephew hasn't been feeling well, and he's calling for mommy. So give her a minute. Truth about our lives. They're busy. So they were. I think that they would be smart to, now that all of this stuff is coming down and the level of abuse, level of manipulation, the true power that he had, and just that those were predatory and evil contracts. Sometimes we think that when we sign something that, oh, this will hold up in court because I signed it. I challenge you to have somebody look at something sometimes, because just because it's written doesn't mean that it will hold up, no matter how much it is, because there's maybe a law that counteracts what they wrote in there, but the person writing it will write it to scare you and make you think that you don't have any power. And it's nothing that you can do to go above something that is a counterproductive line that they wrote in there. So I don't know what this shit is wild. The amount of demons walking this earth is just absolutely insane. And I'm extremely disappointed in those black men, not black men, or those black, they're not men. What are they? Males? A X? Are they the Y? I think they're the Y. Somebody tell me. Either way, they're not even a whole person, because what kind of person, in lieu of everything that we've been through in slavery and everything else, how can that type of person call the slave masters an evil person? And you're doing the same thing, only worse. Because I don't care what anybody says, when you're looking at somebody and they look like you, it makes it worse. It just makes it 10 times worse, because you really think in your heart or our psyche or whatever, what is programmed in us, you're looking like, this is the person that should know how I feel the most. This is the person that should protect me the most, even if it's a stranger. If you out as a girl and something happens and a black male walks by and don't say something, it feels different than just if a male walks by. If a male walks by, period, you feel something. But a black male, it feels different. So the mere fact that these people could do these things, and they have girls, they have sisters, they have moms. I just can't wrap my mind around this. I can't wrap my mind around how you could wake up every day and know that this is who you are, and know that you are, and walk around and accept awards and be okay with being called these amazing things, and you know that you are the devil. You are the devil's little helper. This is the year of being exposed, and held accountable. All of those people need to be stripped of every single thing that they have, and wait until you can get everybody's name and divide the money evenly, because at this point, that man owe people so much. The contracts alone, pay them out first, because their lives was ruined, and that was really good talent.
They were saying,
He was saying, all of them said that.
all of them said that they still were getting no money. The only money that they were getting from
concerts and stuff.
when it was doing concerts and stuff, they were telling them promotional concerts, it was really getting paid. But as far as they contract,
they had an effed up contract.
That's what I'm saying.
Like 3 point.
In a lot of
not just bad boys, they've been doing that the beginning of time.
I know, but what I was saying was, since it's been identified that this man is completely evil across the board, he has bad dealings, bad intentions, never meant any good for anybody, and he became rich literally off of jumping off of one person to another like a fucking tick, and he continued to make money off of this is a pattern. This wasn't just this person didn't perform. You literally took these people and when they got up here, you put them on a show. They got high enough for you to stack them on a show. And it's shown in their numbers and everything. So just like Cassie got money because she was supposed to have 10 records, they should all get money too, because they would have still been, they songs that still played.
We said before, all of his number one artists, like he
got a private talent.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has a good ear for talent.
You
You can't take that away from him at all. Every artist he's put out been known about other artists,
but
but then he just do it and then he done with them. Every
It's
artist, I
almost
can't
like
think
you
of
want to take
nobody.
competition off the table.
I
I can't think of nobody on Bad Boy that was like, oh, they like everybody was good.
I can't think of one person that wasn't. Every single person. Every single person.
Every single.
Even the women that were exploited. I think somebody need to find Foxy Brown. It's just a laundry list. After I
Oh,
put this one,
I just watched the documentary on her too. But remember that the psychic lady and Jaguar said Jay-Z is next. That's when he's on the ground. He's a part of him.
She's
a part of him. I had to think about it. I'm like, Brown came out. She's around our age. And just think of the song singing.
let me see.
She was
singing little kid stuff, like stuff like.
Who, Foxy Brown?
And when she came out, when the videos actually came out, she was 17. When she wrote the song, she was like 14, 15.
And we thought she was much older.
Girl.
Because she had such,
she was our age.
She was our age. I thought they both was older than us. That's predatory alone. So why can't she say something then?
I think he picked her off. She ain't never been.
She like in the woodworks. You don't really hear from her.
She's just Wendy. We used to always talk about Jay-Z all the time. Women always. Foxy Brown doesn't say nothing. I think he pays her off. I say that. Just like I think Mr. Bentley is paid off.
So Jaguar was saying that if he ever came out, that's gonna be the nail in the coffin. And was
whoever came out.
Bentley. And she said the same thing. She's like, he's living his life, flying under the radar in Atlanta.
Yep.
Nobody
follow him. Girl, he do stuff now. He do regular stuff. I'm like, he has paid off. Because that's the one for y'all. Girl, I bet you people been reaching out to him, want to give him millions for an interview. I mean millions.
I don't even think he would, even after that man probably has some Jesus healing, tapped in holy water, and just okay with leaving with his sanity. So he probably don't want to revisit it at all. And I can respect that. I really can, because you don't have no idea what that man saw and what that last thing was to break him. But whatever it was, like Mace, he was smart enough to proposition that shit to that man, where that man let him go.
He let him go, but he took him his man. Ever after that, one of his masters, and Diddy was telling Mace
I think like $3 million.
Right. But what he said is he let them know they wasn't touched. It was no blown up cars. I don't think they was blackballed, but they was both so scarred that.
But he
it's like the ones we thought was younger.
He blackballed him like
Mace.
He blackballed him like a couple of years ago when tried to start
going out doing his stuff again.
At the supposed to be at the
last year. He was supposed to be at the Lover and Friends concert.
He did get something to where make perform there all weekend because he couldn't do nothing.
Oh my. Okay. Sorry, that was an emergency text. Jesus. Listen. Y'all better start making better decisions, because you see what happens. You do all of this evil shit to make it to the top, and just when you need it in your senior years, boom, it's gone. Now what are you gonna do? Ain't no retirement for you. Ain't no SSI. Ain't no 401k. Ain't no nothing. You are done, sir.
I'm pretty sure
he got money stacked for he'll be fine.
He will. But again, 1% of people will make that money. Not everybody. To y'all
He
dumbasses that
I'm
do
pretty
that to
sure
women,
he did
you're going to jail.
Now, R. Kelly himself,
This is what I'm saying. That ain't gonna be everybody's story. The point is, it's not worth it. Was my point.
It ain't.
Because if you got money and you spend the rest of your life in jail, you don't exactly have money, do you?
Nope.
Even R. Kelly, remember all that money his fans was sending him? It was like,
They
took it. They took it. You don't.
Girl, my crazy self up. This is what every day in the morning. Not last night before that, I was watching a podcast, and they was talking about art. I was like, R. Kelly had a song, and so I was listening to the song, and then after that, on YouTube they play you stuff. I wonder when this was doing. I said that too. I think they keep her sick.
Somebody said
they giving her something.
Somebody said it's either that or she doesn't really have an issue and she's faking it in front of cameras and stuff to keep herself safe. So that again is a testament to what we're talking about. Either he takes it away from you, or somebody, like how Bentley went away, you go away or something, so that you can be okay. So that you can be safe because you're scared.
Like we need you back, Wendy. I told you.
She has feedback. We don't know how to fix it. And since you're the one who went to school for it and you're not over here helping, why don't you shut your face? That's my best friend, guys.
I tried to fix it, Ronnie.
We can't fix it. We don't know how. Call me later. I think it's StreamYard, quite honestly, because that's why I'm on my computer instead of on my phone, because my phone was doing something weird. I don't know. I have to switch. But we will do a sound test later. We had a bit of an emergency today. We normally test before we go on. We really do.
And it don't do this.
No, it's switch. We use the same device every time, and every time something is different and off. But we use the same things. We have our setups. We don't move nothing. We know what to do. Why are we explaining ourselves to him?
Ronnie, what do I fix my audio?
Yes, help us, Ronnie. We're poor. That came from Bridesmaids. So let's take a look at the lawsuit, because I promised that this week we would have a regular show full of the updates, because life just keeps on fucking lifing, and it's all this stuff going on. Dear Jesus, thank you for my boring life, and that I made good decisions that made people say, ugh, your life is boring. It is safe, Lord, and my bills are paid, and I'm not losing weight because I am hungry. I am losing weight because of, what do I take again? What is that called? Wegovy. Amen.
Oh, wait.
I forgot. And that is a real prayer. Y'all better start praying and being happy for what you have, because economy about to go down. But pray that if you have it to lose, that you had it to cover yourself. Right, Ro? It's important. Okay, let's take a listen. You can sue people for sleeping with your husband in certain states. And in other states, you can end up on Snapped.
And yes, this is part 2. And yes, I purchased the court documents because we're all nosy. And check out part 1 because it starts off the court documents about how Brenay is being sued for alienation of affection. Now, line item 29 continues to describe how Brenay was seducing Akira's husband. It says defendant was seen twerking and shaking her bottom on the plaintiff's husband in the bathroom located in the marital home. It was stated that the defendant and the plaintiff's husband were seen flaunting their relationship publicly on social media. That can be seen here in one of the various live streams that Brenay and Tim had, basically flirting and flaunting their relationship. Now, Akira said that Brenay and her ex-husband Tim were exchanging numerous sexual videos and text messages, so I'm assuming she got copies of that. Also said that Brenay was making several videos about how she couldn't wait to take the plaintiff's husband's last name, which is Montage, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Now, it says that in line item 39 that Brenay could be found in self-recorded videos expressing her inappropriate feelings and interactions with the plaintiff's husband, included but not limited to expressing her overwhelming desire for them to have 4 or 5 kids 4 or 5 kids, alluding to how she couldn't wait to be called Mrs. Montag or Mrs. Montag. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Expressing how she loves and yearns for them to be together, expressing how she will do anything for him and will give him the world, expressing how the plaintiff's husband makes her female genitals throb. Girl. Expressing how she loves how he touches her body, especially when he grabs her thighs when she's driving. And she went as far as saying that she described his wang dang doodle, if you know what I mean. She also said that there are videos of her posted on social media about how she was making a mockery out of Akira and how she had no remorse for what she had did. Now again, on line item 46, Akira stated that she knows that her husband and Brenay were engaged in a relationship in December of 2023. Now mind you, Akira and Tim, the husband in question, did not divorce until March of 2024. Akira stating that he had moved out of her home, their marital home together, and he had moved in with Brenay in Greenville, North Carolina. Basically, alleging that he had abandoned her and the kids. He's also saying that Brenay is paying for his rent, and co-signed his apartment. Not you taking care of him. Now, this is where she includes the kids and saying because of Brenay's actions, she's depriving her children of a 2-family household. Now she's saying because of all of the things that I had just listed, she's looking for damages in the tune of $150,000. She goes on to say that the acts of the defendant were malicious, unlawful, willful, and wanton, which I don't know what that means. That must be a legal term. It says the evidence will display ill will, spite, rudeness, oppression against the plaintiff that was done with careless, reckless, conscious, and intentional disregard of indifference of the rights of the plaintiff. Now, Akira also lists a second cause of action for alienation of affection. And in that second claim, she's asking for $1 million in damages. So she has 2 claims, and this one is for even more. Now, I don't know where this case is going, but I'm going to keep you guys posted. I don't believe Brenay had responded to this claim yet, but when she does, I cannot wait to hear what she has to say.
What state are they in?
What state are they in?
South Carolina, I think. There are a few states where these things are the law. And I can foresee them coming back to other states because your marriage is a legally binding contract. That's number one. So it's covered under law and God. It's a contract. You signed it. My favorite is you took intimacy out of my home. Because you did. You took money out of my home. Because you did. You posted it on social media that you knew what you were doing and you didn't care. Because you did. You posted that you wanted my husband. You wanted my property. If you take something from somebody, and yes, your spouse is yours. If you take something from somebody else, don't they call that theft and stealing? Isn't it spiteful that if you know that somebody has a marriage and a home, that is spiteful that you're still dealing with that person? Leave the other person out of it. Well, why ain't she going for him? It's divorce papers. She did go for him, dodos. Not only that, don't worry about that. The husband is who she wants. She would want the husband because, again, you're breaking up a home. That is financially impacting that home. That is emotionally impacting somebody. That is spiritually impacting somebody. That is a broken... Half of y'all, if that's the case, if you shouldn't be upset, then don't get upset when you get fired.
I think
Why would you be upset? I think if they just the job, go get another one. You think it's okay for you to post you and somebody else's husband all over social media? I could think of a few people that deserve to burn in hell. What's your feedback, Ro?
I think that
if
it's
divorce,
it'll be
less
cheating.
It'll be less cheating, but here's the other thing. If you choose to want to divorce, if you choose to not want to be married, I think that if we have more laws, because it really is a contract, that is a financial hardship when you do something like that to somebody. Above everything else, this person has to go through with a broken heart, and then it financially impacts them. It impacts their life. What if they're within the years that you're in your last years of being able to have a baby or something like that? That people don't think about it on a bigger scale because most people are selfish as hell, and they also do things out of order, so they're not lacking some of these things. But I think that it would make people really think about before they get married, and that's okay too if you want to be single. Additionally, I think that if cheating was true or adultery was truly looked at like this, I think like you that it wouldn't be as much, and I think the divorce rate will reduce as well, because if you don't have an escape, a plan B, something else that is taking up a space or deterring you or keeping you away from what you're doing, then you wouldn't go to divorce. You would work it out in your home. You would. Or you would work it out to the point where you say, nope, we tried everything we can. This truly isn't going to work. You would have more amicable divorces. This truly isn't going to work. Let's separate and do whatever. Because the other part of that is that in these states, you can't remarry for a year, because the idea is a moral idea and it's legal. If you divorce this person today, it's impossible that you have somebody to marry tomorrow, because you should divorce quick. When you decide you don't want to be with somebody, that's the end of that contract. Your credit, all of those things are still meshed together while you're married. If you are divorced, or if you don't want to be with this person, divorce. Then you would start dating and move on with somebody else. So it would be a year in between there. So that's the other thing. So either way, this girl, while she's like popping off and saying, y'all gonna find out the real, they weren't happy anyway. Whether they were happy or not, that has nothing to do with it. You're not happy with your children every day, but when you drop them off at the fire station, you don't. You're not happy with yourself every day. That's not a good reason. And I think that we need to get, not I think, I know, we need to get more back to, even if you don't want to do the Bible all the way, your moral compass, some people need to check their shit because it's out of control, and I just don't get it. She's saying stuff like that though, y'all will see the real. They wasn't even getting along anyway. Even if that's the case, doofus, you are outside. They were still married, and it still wasn't a year after they got married. And quite honestly, your husband can sue him because you were married, but you made sure to get a divorce first before all your shit came out. But your husband could sue him too, and could sue you too. So your little social media money that you're making, that they're coming after because you let social media blow your damn head up, they could take everything that you have because you were married and you did all of these things. You humiliated that man. You did these things in public. All of y'all that post this shit, trust me, you can't take it down fast enough. I will just tell you, I know what my records and inventory is like from past relationships as well. I keep everything. As you should. You put it out there. That's really bold. Could you do that to somebody, Ro? If you were messing with their husband knowingly, or let's just say this, because some people lie and you don't know, right? Then when you do find out, I will say this, in my experience, there was two people for me. I didn't know they was married. When I found out they was married, cut off everything. But I had not slept with either one of those people. It may be a minute for some people to, that person's heart is broken too. But I don't think I would still be posting about them and I'll fight your wife and shit like that. Could you do that to somebody?
Not doing all that.
No.
It also put it right. You putting their business out there.
Yeah, but you know
everything is fake now.
Well, no, the girl Brenay didn't put it out there. Brenay didn't say this is somebody else's man or nothing like that. No, she was just going on like regular, like with a man in the background. The girl that was the friend that found out that had been double dating with them and everything. Remember, they were two couples that was friends. Yeah, so when she found out, she's the one to put her on blast because again, she thinking she all big and mighty because she's on social media. Girl, you known for your nails and your breasts that you collected money for, to get reduced. You don't have an actual talent. You're just on social media and it blew you up. And supposedly that's when she started acting different towards people. And then her and the other guys started hooking up who she knew him. So no, this one wasn't clickbait. It was because the girl was mad. So she told her business.
I'm surprised with how it was in this day and time.
That's true. But
all she was making a girl get more clicks on her video. They go back and cook at everything.
And they do. They go pull it to like say, oh, this is when I noticed this or this is when I noticed that. Like you said, to put together your videos, you got to do that. Mm-hmm. Thing I love about TikTok though, because my ass is crazy. If I'm doing something and I need to pull something off of a video that I don't support, I'll pull the piece I need and pause it and turn it off. Or I'll download it so I could keep going back to get what I need versus or screen record it or whatever. Because some people cut off the download button. I'll screen record it because I don't want to keep giving that person plays while I'm working on what I'm working on because it'll keep going. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, I think it's my HR brain that it's just my moral compass is different. I am in no way perfect. I'm not. But intentionally hurt people, I do not. I have this thing that I did when I was 19 to somebody. It was a 3-way call that I did to somebody. I wasn't thinking about the particular situation. But when I found out the impact, I called immediately and I apologized. I owned up to my shit. Do you know sporadically, if it just crosses my mind because I just don't like that I hurt that person, I'll sporadically apologize for it all over again. And the person has forgiven me, but it just be on my heart. So I just want them to know because I truly wasn't thinking and had never done nothing like that before. But that's the difference in a good person to me and a bad person. We're all going to make mistakes. You may do something that somebody else says, oh, just do this. And you just do it real quick. And then you think about it like, shit, I didn't know X, Y, and Z. Number one, own your shit. It was, for me, if it's no explanation, then it's the explanation is I fucked up. It's not, well, I did it because, or no, just own your shit and say you sorry and be more careful. I'm very careful these days. And I question a lot because I just don't trust people. And I also don't trust that I'm always thinking right. Mm-hmm. Because if somebody catches you while you're doing multiple things, like your kids, you know how people do, just like your kids. Think about some of this shit. You'll be really busy. Your kid will ask you for something, but you told them no 16 times. They wait till you get on the phone or you in a meeting, so you be like, yes. Y'all, I'm telling you, this parenting shit is nothing other than reverse of the shit we did when we was kids. I'm saying, and we supposed to kick it up a notch because you know better and do better. That's all it is. It's really not as hard as we make things are. Friendships, relationships, it's not that hard if you just slow down a little bit and take your time. It's better. Somebody saying I'm sorry over and over. I have a feeling a lot of I'm sorry's is going to be less accepted going forward, especially with social media.
I don't want it. But sometimes people say it goes off your actions. It goes off your actions.
And the way that you say I'm sorry. If you got a whole speech and it turns around to being about you, all this gaslighting and shit like that. Now that we're becoming, those that pay attention to it and learn those type of things, and look for the lesson in things other than like the clickbait and the drama, like Rose said, you'll start to pick up different things in people. And one sign of that, or one example of that, isn't that. But if you notice that's a pattern with the person, then it is. Nobody should be so hard on somebody that everything they do, you like trying to clock it. I'm just saying pay attention more, because the end result doesn't have to be an end of a relationship. The end result can be that you address it head on, because sometimes if you call somebody out at the beginning, or call something out to attention, not call somebody out or check somebody. We all grown. We don't supposed to talk to each other like that. It lets that person know that there's things, so they know that they can't get away with stuff. So they know with you, they're going to have to act a little bit different. Kind of like a Young Miami. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't believe she experienced or saw certain things that she didn't want to see. And I don't think, because if it was Roe, people would, and it could be, nobody is exempt. I'm just thinking from process of elimination that if the trend is to ask her, why you not talking, why you not doing this, somebody would have leaked to this point, like they're leaking that Cassie laughed at Kim and did all these things to Kim. If the goal is to take Young Miami down, which is, that's what everybody's mostly saying, they're not supporting her. Somebody would have said something by now, and they're not. So let's start letting the innocent people be innocent and not drag them into shit. And then even those that are victims, what we can learn from it. And everybody, two things can exist. You could be a victim and a villain. Sorry. Not sorry. I didn't do it this time. It wasn't me. Any final feedback from you? My bestie don't have no sense. Any final
Yeah,
feedback?
I was having feedback.
Y'all, it's not our fault. Just to be clear, even Armand was having problems on his channel the other day. He had to almost stop a whole interview. It's not us. It's these damn streaming things. Because we have the same stuff. It's not always the person. It's not. And people with whole engineer teams and stuff can't sometimes fix their stuff. So they'll just have to end the show, or you just got to keep going sometimes. I don't know. Because don't blame us, though. Or if you want to, blame us, but send us money. My information is below. You can send us money and we will hire an engineer. Thank you. That's my final. What's your final?
I don't eat tonight. Everybody do that.
That's what you've been saying all 2024. Like most of your endings is everybody do better.
Because it just seems like everybody needs to do better this year. Like, off the chain. Everybody do better.
Everybody do better. And those of you that have done better to this date, don't sit around and gloat at nobody's pain. Don't sit around like you on a high horse. You could still, I still think two things can exist. Just like R. Kelly is my favorite example, because I still feel bad for him because of all the things that happened to him. No support, no help, no therapy, no nothing, and trying to figure out life. If he would have had better people around him, he seems like he have a good heart.
He would have been better if he didn't have you.
I think so, because in all of the things from him, I don't recall. Please don't be mad at me if I get this wrong. Ro will correct me. He didn't domestic violence people, did he? Yeah, he didn't do stuff like that.
It was basically SA.
It was basically SA.
According to their standards. Because the jury's still out on that. The public jury of opinion.
I don't know if that's called that if he was keeping them locked in the rooms and all that.
Well, it could be you were in that room and he locked the door, because several said they walked right out the front door when they didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So That's why I say I don't know. I don't know. Either way, guys, do better. That's what I was asking while you were gone. A male and a female. Is the guy the Y chromosome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I said Diddy wasn't a man. I wanted to reduce him to a chromosome, but I didn't know which chromosome it was.
But he's
still less of a man, and he's just a big ass nigga. Sorry.
Well, I was being nice and calling him a Y chromosome, but I mean that works too.
You still
could be a man, and you could still be a bitch.
Two things can exist. I don't understand. But ladies, be careful who you date. Men at this point, because there are LGBTQ couples that go through the same thing. A man putting his hands on another man, or a woman putting her hands on a woman. Nobody deserves to have hands put on you, even if you're same sex. Right. A Mitch. Exactly. Because ain't nobody got time. You always save the day, precious. We love you. Okay, so that is it for our show tonight. Rose will be on Talk to Rose tomorrow, and I'm sure it will be, what do you say? You talk about the what?
The good, the bad, and ragged.
The good, the bad, and the raggedy. It's the raggedy for me. We're never going to run out of topics, by the way. Never. And I can't wait to see Bad Boys. Everybody go see it. Let's talk about it next week. Lord, now I got to go see the movie. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about next week. And then we'll be back here on Thursday to continue discussions about men's health and your responsibility to your health as well, men. We are not responsible. You are. That is self-love that y'all tell us to have. Well, self-love your ass to therapy. Okay. Thank you. Everybody have a good night.